On a hot day in July of 1518, a woman walked into a narrow street in Strasbourg and began to dance. She had no music to follow and no festival to celebrate. She simply moved, and she did not stop. Chronicles later gave her a name, Frau Troffea, a woman dancing alone before a city that did not yet understand. To understand what followed, you have to understand the world she lived in. Strasbourg in 1518 was a city on edge. Famine had stripped the storehouses and grain prices had climbed beyond reach. Disease moved through the poor quarters, and sermons warned of judgment and a wrathful heaven. Many people believed in a dancing curse, a punishment said to be sent by Saint Vitus himself. So when one woman could not stop dancing, the city was primed to read it as something far darker. Within a week, dozens of others had joined her in the streets. Within a month, contemporary accounts claimed that as many as 400 people were caught in the same relentless motion. The city's leaders called for physicians, and the physicians reached a strange conclusion. They decided the affliction was a fever of the blood, and the only cure was to let the dancers dance it out. So they cleared the marketplaces, built wooden stages, and even hired musicians to keep them moving. It was a catastrophic mistake. The crowd only grew, and the weakest began to fall. Later accounts said some danced until their hearts gave out, though the records are incomplete. Finally, the city reversed course. The afflicted were loaded onto wagons and carried out of Strasbourg. They were taken roughly 40 kilometers to a shrine of Saint Vitus near Savin and given red shoes as part of the rite. Priests led them through prayer and penance, and by September, the dancing had finally faded. So what truly happened here? One theory points to ergot, a toxic mold that can grow on damp rye. But critics note that ergot poisoning usually brings gangrene, not days of coordinated dancing, so the case stays open. Many historians now favor another idea, that crushing stress and shared belief turned one woman's trance into a contagion of the mind. Each remains a theory. What the archive keeps is the documented fact that, for one strange summer, the city could not stop dancing.